My beloved child, I am calling you, and this moment is not accidental. You did not stumble into these words. I dialed your heart before your finger ever touched the screen. There are things I have been holding, waiting for the exact second when you would finally be still enough to hear me. And now, you are here. I know how heavy your silence has felt. I know how you smiled in front of people while carrying questions you never dared to speak out loud. You wondered if I noticed. You wondered if heaven went quiet when life got loud. But hear me clearly now. I have never stopped watching you. Not once. Not even on the nights you thought you were forgotten. This call is not about fixing one small thing. This is about revealing what has been happening behind the scenes while you thought nothing was moving. You've been interpreting delay as denial, but I was arranging protection. You thought the door closed because you failed, but I closed it because I saw what you couldn't. If I had let you walk through it, it would have cost you more than you were prepared to lose. There are moments when I step back not because I'm distant, but because I'm preparing you to see differently. I wanted you to stop relying only on what your eyes could prove. Faith was being built quietly in you even when you felt unsure. Especially then. Listen carefully. Something has been forming around your life that you didn't request, didn't plan, and didn't even imagine. I allowed the shaking so you could recognize what cannot be shaken. You're stronger now than you realize, not because life got easier, but because you survived what once would have broken you. Don't skip this moment. I need you present for what I'm about to unlock in your understanding. You thought you were late. You thought time ran out. But heaven doesn't move on your clock. I delayed answers so you wouldn't rush into a future that required a deeper version of you. What's coming next needs discernment, not desperation. Strength, not survival mode. There have been whispers around you lately. Subtle nudges, sudden thoughts, unexpected memories. That's me. I've been reminding you of who you were before disappointment tried to rename you, before fear convinced you to shrink. I am restoring your spiritual eyesight so you can recognize opportunities disguised as interruptions. Stay till the end of this message. Something huge is waiting for you, and it connects directly to what you've been praying about in secret. You are not behind. You are being aligned. Every tear you shed watered seeds you'll soon walk into. And when it happens, you'll realize why I had to be quiet for a season. Silence was not absence. It was preparation. I'm not calling to scare you. I'm calling to steady you. What's ahead will require courage, but you won't walk alone. I will go before you, stand beside you, and guard what I place in your hands. Lift your head. Open your heart. This call from heaven is still ringing, and the next moments will change how you see everything. I am closer than your next breath, even when you feel unsure of where I am leading you. What you sensed after the last words wasn't emotion alone, it was recognition. Something in your spirit knew I was speaking directly to you, not to a crowd, not to a general audience, but to you. That is because this call is personal, intentional, and precise. You have been standing at an invisible threshold. Nothing around you looked different, yet inside, something shifted. That's because decisions were being made in heaven while you were still asking questions on earth. I allowed you to feel unsettled so you wouldn't settle. Comfort would have kept you small. Restlessness was mercy. There are truths I couldn't reveal earlier because timing matters more than desire. You asked me to show you the way, but first I had to show you what was weighing you down. Some of what you called loyalty was actually fear of letting go. Some of what you called patience was actually waiting for permission I already gave you. Hear me now. I am not waiting on you to become perfect. I'm waiting on you to become willing. You've been replaying moments you wish you could redo. Conversations that ended differently than you hoped. Opportunities you think you missed forever. But I need you to understand something that will change how you see your past. Nothing truly meant for you has escaped my reach. I could reroute purpose without rewriting your story. I redeem time without erasing lessons. Don't skip this. What I'm revealing now is foundational for what comes next. You've felt a quiet separation lately. Certain people no longer understand you. Certain places no longer fit. That's not loneliness, that's elevation. I am refining your environment to match the level you're stepping into. Where you're going requires discernment, not approval. Peace, not noise. I know you've asked, why does it feel like I'm losing things right before breakthrough? Because I refuse to crown you while your hands are still full of what can't go with you. I'm not punishing you, I'm positioning you. Something huge is waiting for you, but it requires clarity. The next door opens only when you stop knocking on the old one. I've been giving you signs, confirmations layered so gently you almost dismissed them. But deep down, you knew. You always knew. You don't need to force anything. What is aligned will move toward you naturally. What resists is revealing it was never meant to stay. Trust me when I say this release is protection. Stay till the end. There is a truth coming that will settle the anxiety you've been carrying. You are about to step into a season where discernment becomes sharper than emotion. Where peace becomes louder than pressure. Where you stop asking, am I enough? And start realizing I have always been sufficient. This call from heaven isn't ending, it's deepening. And the next revelation will explain why everything you endured had to happen exactly the way it did. Before you were even aware of it, I began rearranging outcomes in your favor. What felt like resistance was actually redirection. I was intercepting paths you never should have walked, conversations that would have drained you, victories that would have cost you your peace. I saw farther than you could see, and I chose protection over speed. You've been questioning your instincts lately, wondering why you hesitate where you once rushed. That hesitation is wisdom forming. You are no longer driven by urgency. You are being guided by discernment. I slowed your pace so you wouldn't outrun your purpose. You were asking me to hurry, but I was teaching you to listen. There is something I need you to understand now, something you've never fully seen before. Not every closed door was closed by opposition. Some were closed by me because the version of you that would have walked through wasn't ready for what was on the other side. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like waiting. Sometimes it feels like loss. But it is always intentional. Don't skip this moment. This insight will change how you interpret everything behind you. You've been stronger than you think. You carried burdens quietly. You showed up when no one clapped. You stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier. Heaven noticed every unseen decision. I recorded every time you chose integrity over comfort. None of it was wasted. You wondered why certain prayers seemed unanswered while others unfolded unexpectedly. It's because I was answering the deeper prayer, the one beneath the words. You asked for relief, but your soul asked for transformation. You asked for escape, but your calling required endurance. I answered according to purpose, not pressure. Something huge is waiting for you, but first your heart had to be aligned with humility instead of haste. Pride would have fractured what I'm about to entrust to you. Dependence on me is not weakness, it is readiness. There's a shift coming in how you see yourself. You've defined your worth by outcomes, by how others responded, by what worked and what didn't. I am teaching you to see yourself the way I see you, chosen, capable, and carried. When you grasp this, fear will lose its grip. Comparison will fall silent. Confidence will rise, not from ego, but from identity. Stay till the end. This next truth is the anchor you've been missing. You are stepping into a phase where clarity replaces confusion, where you no longer chase validation because you recognize direction. You will notice peace arriving before answers, assurance before evidence. That's how you'll know I'm leading. What you're about to walk into will require you to trust what you hear over what you see. The world will say wait. I will say move. The world will say prove it. I will say believe me. And when you do, doors will open in ways you couldn't orchestrate if you tried. I am not asking you to have everything figured out. I am asking you to stay close. Obedience will make sense later. Right now, it is enough that you are listening. This call from heaven is drawing you nearer, not to overwhelm you, but to prepare you. What's ahead isn't random. It's reserved. And you are closer than you think. There is a moment coming when everything you endured will suddenly make sense. Not in pieces, not gradually, but all at once. Like light flooding a dark room. And when that moment arrives, you will realize I was never asking you to hold on longer without reason. I was preparing you for recognition. You've been learning to hear my voice in quieter ways. Not always through dramatic signs, but through steady peace. Through a gentle certainty that didn't need permission. That's because I am shifting how I communicate with you. Where I'm taking you, noise will no longer be your guide. Stillness will be. I need you to understand something sacred right now. The struggle you faced refined your authority. You didn't just survive, you were trained. Every season where you felt overlooked sharpened your discernment. Every delay strengthened your endurance. You were being shaped to carry something that requires maturity, not impulse. Don't skip this. This truth is key to what unfolds next. You've asked me why things seem to move slowly just before they change. It's because heaven accelerates quietly. I gather resources, align people, adjust timing, all before you ever see movement. What looks like waiting is actually alignment locking into place. There is a calling awakening in you that doesn't need to announce itself. It will speak through impact, not volume. Through consistency, not spectacle. I am teaching you to walk with confidence without needing validation. When you stop explaining yourself, your authority increases. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's connected to trust. Not the kind you give easily, but the kind you learn through surrender. You've learned how to release control without losing hope. It's rare. It's powerful. That's why the next season will require less striving and more obedience. I know you've been tempted to look back, to wonder if things would have been easier if you had chosen differently. But ease was never the goal. Purpose was. And purpose often requires paths that shape you deeply before they reward you visibly. Stay till the end. There's a reassurance here that will quiet the last remaining doubt. What you're stepping into will not look like what you imagined when you first prayed. It will be better, but different. More grounded. More lasting. I spared you from quick wins that fade so I could lead you into impact that endures. You will notice doors opening through conversations you didn't plan. Opportunities arising without force. People recognizing what you no longer need to prove. That's how you'll know this is me. Why orchestrate doesn't require panic. I am also asking you to guard your peace carefully now. Not everyone needs access to what I'm building in you. Some will try to rush it. Some will misunderstand it. Let them. Obedience is not loud. It is faithful. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are walking in alignment. The anxiety you once carried will lose its hold as trust takes its place. You will move with assurance, not because everything is clear, but because you know who is guiding you. His call from heaven is reaching its most important point. What comes next will require courage, but not fear. Action, but not striving. Faith, but not confusion. I am with you. I have it ahead of you. And the step you are about to take will confirm everything I've been whispering to your heart all along. I am inviting you now into a level of trust you have never walked in before. Not the kind that leans on outcomes, but the kind that rests in relationship. This is where many turn back, not because they don't believe, but because belief here requires release. And I know letting go has never been easy for you. You've learned how to survive uncertainty, but now I am teaching you how to move within it without fear. The next season of your life will not come with a full map. It will come with daily direction. Step by step, breath by breath. That is intentional. I want you dependent on my voice, not addicted to control. Here is a shift happening in how heaven responds to you. You're not crying out from desperation anymore. You're listening from alignment. That's why answers will feel different now. Faster in clarity, quieter in delivery. I don't need to shake the ground to guide you anymore. You recognize my whisper. Don't skip this. What I'm about to reveal reframes everything you thought strength looked like. You once believed strength meant endurance without emotion. But I am showing you a deeper power, the courage to be honest with me, to bring your doubts without shame, to admit when you're tired without losing faith. That vulnerability has unlocked access you didn't know was possible. You noticed it already. Certain prayers are being answered before you finish them. Certain burdens feel lighter without explanation. That's not coincidence. That's intimacy. When alignment deepens, effort decreases. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires you to trust my timing even when your logic resists it. I am weaving connections you haven't met yet, preparing opportunities that won't make sense until they arrive. If I showed you everything now, you'd try to carry tomorrow's weight with today's strength. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not being tested. You are being trusted. Trusted with influence. Trusted with responsibility. Trusted with insight. That's why refinement increased before revelation. That's why pruning came before promotion. Stay till the end. This truth will anchor you when movement begins. There will be moments ahead when old patterns try to resurface. Fear will knock. Doubt will suggest delay. Comparison will whisper lies. But you will recognize them now. You won't wrestle like you used to. You'll stand. And standing will be enough. I am also calling you into discernment about where you place your energy. Not every invitation deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves space. Guarding your spirit will be essential. Where you're going, clarity matters more than consensus. You may not feel ready, and that's okay. Readiness is not confidence in yourself. It's confidence in me. I have never sent someone I wasn't willing to sustain. What I assign, I support. What I initiate, I complete. Soon, you will look back at this moment and realize it was the turning point. The quiet confirmation before visible movement. The internal shift before external change. This was the call that steadied your heart before acceleration. I am not rushing you. I am positioning you. Walk forward gently but firmly. Speak less. Listen more. Obey promptly. Trust deeply. You will not miss what is meant for you when you move with me. This call from heaven is not fading. It is sealing something in you. And what unfolds next will feel unfamiliar, but it will feel right. I am here. I always have been. And I will continue to guide you until faith becomes sight and promise becomes reality. My beloved child, as you step into deeper trust, I am also inviting you into deeper partnership. You've prayed, "Use me, Lord," and this, right now, is how I am answering you. When you sow through Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, or the PayPal link in the description, you are placing oil in my hands so I can keep this fire burning and reach souls who are still waiting for this call from heaven. What you give becomes a river, flowing into homes, hearts, and moments where hope is almost gone. I promise you, as my word lives and breathes, what you release in faith I multiply and harvest. I bless your generosity as a prophetic act, favor over your household, peace over your mind, increase over your days. Do not hesitate. Open your hand now and step into this holy moment. Give boldly. Act now. I am speaking to the part of you that has been quietly bracing itself, even while hoping. You didn't realize it, but you've been standing in readiness longer than you think. That inner alertness you feel is not anxiety, it is anticipation. Your spirit recognized the shift before your mind could name it. What is unfolding now will require you to trust the stillness as much as you once trusted the struggle. You learned how to fight your way through hard seasons, but now I am teaching you how to remain steady when things finally begin to open. Calm will be your new strength. Discernment will be your new defense. You've been asking me for confirmation, yet I've been asking you for consent. Consent to move when it feels unfamiliar. Consent to say yes without needing applause. Consent to let go of explanations and walk in quiet confidence. This is the moment where agreement matters more than understanding. Don't skip this. What I'm revealing here will help you recognize what's real when it arrives. Very soon, you will notice momentum where there was once resistance. Conversations will shift. Timing will align. What once required effort will begin to flow, not because circumstances change suddenly, but because you did. You stopped striving. You started trusting. Here is something important I need you to know. Not everything coming next will feel dramatic. Some of the most life-altering moments arrive gently. A simple decision. A calm yes. A door that opens without noise. Don't overlook these moments. Heaven often moves quietly when it wants you to walk without fear. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will feel both new and strangely familiar. Like something your soul remembers even if your mind doesn't. That's because I planted this calling in you long ago, before disappointment tried to bury it, before life tried to distract you from it. Stay till the end. There is clarity here that will protect you from rushing. You will be tempted to explain what I am doing in you to people who cannot see it yet. Resist that urge, not because they are wrong, but because this season is about embodiment, not explanation. Let the fruit speak. Let the timing teach. Let the peace prove it. I am also strengthening your ability to wait without weakening your faith. Waiting no longer means stagnation. It means alignment catching up with promise. While you wait, I am moving pieces you don't have access to. I am softening hearts, redirecting paths, closing gaps you couldn't cross alone. You may feel a quiet urgency rising, but it's not panic. It's preparation. You are being ready to respond when the moment comes. And it will come suddenly, but you will not be surprised. Your spirit will recognize it immediately. There will be a choice ahead, not between good and bad, but between safe and aligned. Safe will look familiar. Aligned will feel stretching, but peaceful. Choose alignment. It will cost you comfort, but it will give you fulfillment. I know part of you still wonders if you're truly capable of carrying what's ahead. Let me answer that now. You are capable because I am with you. You are equipped because I have trained you. You are ready because readiness was formed in the unseen. Do not rush to label this season. Do not try to predict the outcome. Simply stay close. Obedience will open doors faster than effort ever could. This call from heaven is steadying your heart for movement that is about to begin. When it does, you will move with clarity, not chaos. With peace, not pressure. With faith, not fear. And when you take that step, quietly, confidently, you will realize this was never about proving anything. It was about becoming who you were always meant to be. I see the way your heart has begun to settle, even while your future remains undefined. That calm is not resignation. It is confidence being formed. You are no longer chasing certainty. You are becoming anchored in me. This is the posture that precedes movement. There is something unfolding now that you could not have handled earlier, not because you were weak, but because timing protects what purpose produces. I withheld clarity until character caught up with calling. And now, what once would have overwhelmed you will arrive as confirmation. You are stepping into a moment where discernment matters more than speed. Not everything that appears aligned will be assigned to you. Some opportunities will test your maturity by appealing to old versions of you. But you will recognize the difference now. Peace will guide you where excitement once did. Don't skip this. What I am revealing will save you from unnecessary detours. You are about to notice how differently you respond to pressure. Where you once reacted, you will now pause. Where you once explained, you will now observe. That shift is evidence of growth. You didn't lose your passion, you gained perspective. I am also restoring something you thought was gone forever. Not in the same form, not in the same season, but with greater clarity and deeper roots. What you mourned as loss was actually being refined beyond recognition. You had to release the old version so the true one could emerge. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will not demand that you become someone else to receive it. It will meet you as you are, grounded, aware, and ready. You won't need to perform. You won't need to pretend. Authenticity will be your access. Stay till the end. This next truth will guard your heart when attention increases. As doors begin to open, voices will increase. Some will celebrate you. Some will question you. Some will misunderstand you. None of them define you. I do. Stay rooted in that identity. Influence is safest when it flows from intimacy, not insecurity. I am also teaching you when to move and when to remain still. Obedience is not always action. Sometimes it is restrained. Sometimes the most powerful decision is not to respond, not to react, not to rush. Silence, when guided by me, speaks louder than words. You wondered if you missed your moment. Let me settle that once and for all. You did not. What is meant for you arrives when you are able to steward it well. You are not late. You are prepared. Very soon, you will feel an inner confirmation so steady it will quiet every external doubt. You won't need to convince yourself. You won't need validation. You will simply know. That knowing is my peace. Do not underestimate the season you are in now. What feels quiet is actually sacred. What feels slow is being fortified. What feels uncertain is being aligned. This is not a pause. It is a positioning. I am asking you to remain attentive. Not anxious. Not striving. Attentive. The next instruction will be clear, but it will require courage. Not reckless courage, grounded courage. The kind that trusts me enough to move without needing guarantees. This call from heaven is not fading into the background. It is becoming part of how you think, how you choose, how you walk. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are becoming one. And when the moment arrives, when the door opens and the step presents itself, you will move with peace, not pressure. With clarity, not confusion. I will be with you in that moment as I am with you now. Stay ready. Stay humble. Stay close. What comes next will confirm everything you've been sensing in your spirit all along. I am watching how carefully you are listening now. Not straining. Not forcing. Just aware. That awareness is the sign you have crossed into a new depth with me. You are no longer waiting to be convinced. You are preparing to respond. There is an unveiling happening within you before anything changes around you. I always reveal inwardly before I reveal outwardly. That's why this season feels so internal, so reflective. I am aligning your thoughts with truth so that when movement begins, confusion will not follow you. You've learned something crucial without realizing it. Not everything urgent is important, and not everything important arrives loudly. You no longer feel the need to react to every signal. You are learning to recognize my timing, which is never rushed and never late. Don't skip this. What I'm about to impress on your heart will protect you from missteps. Soon, you will encounter a moment that feels ordinary on the surface, but it will carry unusual weight. A conversation, an invitation, a decision. Nothing dramatic, yet everything significant. This is how I often work when trust has been established. I no longer need spectacle to get your attention. You are attentive already. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will not announce itself with pressure. It will arrive with peace. That peace will be your confirmation. Not adrenaline. Not urgency. Peace. I know part of you still expects resistance because struggle hath been familiar. But ease does not mean compromise when it comes from me. Sometimes ease is the sign that alignment has been reached. You don't have to question every open door anymore. Discernment will tell you which ones carry my hand. Stay till the end. This understanding will steady you when clarity comes. There will be a moment when you realize you are no longer asking the same questions you used to. Not because everything is answered, but because your foundation is stronger. You trust me now in ways you once only hoped you could. That trust will change how you move, how you speak, how you choose. I am also adjusting how you see success. It will no longer be defined by speed or visibility. It will be measured by faithfulness, impact, and peace. What I'm building through you will last because it is rooted deeply, not rushed quickly. You will notice an increased sensitivity in your spirit. Things that once felt acceptable will feel heavy. Things that once drained you will no longer hold appeal. That is not loss. It is refinement. I am sharpening your ability to protect what I am placing in your care. Do not be surprised if certain paths quietly fall away. I am not taking from you. I am making room. Where you are going requires clarity, and clarity often comes through subtraction before addition. I want you to hear this clearly now. You are not stepping into uncertainty alone. I am already there. I have prepared the space, the timing, and the grace you will need. When you arrive, you will recognize it, not by excitement alone, but by alignment. You may feel a gentle urgency rising soon. Not panic, not fear. Readiness. When that comes, don't overthink it. Respond with obedience. The step will feel firm beneath your feet because I placed it there. This call from heaven is drawing to a point of decision, but not pressure. You are not being rushed, You are being invited. Invited to trust what you've learned. Invited to walk in what hath been formed. Invited to move without needing every detail secured. You are closer now than ever before. Closer to clarity. Closer to movement. Closer to seeing with your own eyes what you once only carried in your heart. Remain steady. Remain humble. Remain attentive. What is about to unfold will not feel chaotic. It will feel right. And when it begins, you will know, without doubt, that this moment was prepared long before you arrive. I am bringing this call to its resting place now, not because the journey ends here, but because something has been sealed within you. You can feel it, a quiet resolve settling into your spirit. This is not emotion fading. This is truth taking root. You didn't just hear words. You received alignment. Something in you has shifted from waiting to readiness, from questioning to trust. That shift will guide you more than any external sign ever could. From here forward, you will notice that your decisions carry more peace, your steps feel more grounded, and your confidence no longer depends on reassurance. I want you to remember this moment, not the screen, not the sound, but the awareness, the knowing that you are not forgotten, the certainty that I am involved in details you cannot yet see. When days ahead feel unclear, return to this truth. I called you because you matter, and I do not call without intention. You are about to walk into answers that arrive disguised as responsibility. Blessings that come wrapped in stewardship. Open doors that require maturity to remain open. Do not be intimidated. I would not entrust you with what you cannot carry. Grace will meet you at every step, right when you need it, not before, not late. Don't skip what happens next in your life. Stay present. Stay listening. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will require your attention more than your effort. You will see now why certain prayers were delayed, why some relationships shifted, why certain paths closed without explanation. All of it was guiding you here, into clarity, into alignment, into trust. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. I am asking you to walk forward without rehearsing fear, without borrowing worry from tomorrow, without shrinking because of past experiences. You are not the same person who once struggled just to stand. You have been strengthened quietly, steadily, faithfully. When doubt tries to return, answer it with truth. When pressure rises, respond with prayer. When opportunities come, test them with peace. I will not confuse you. I will not rush you. I will not abandon you. Stay till the end of what I am doing in your life. Do not leave the process early just because the waiting feels uncomfortable. Completion carries reward. You are not alone in this next season. I will speak when you need direction. I will be silent when you need strength. I will intervene when protection is required. And I will rejoice as you walk in what you once only hoped for. Let your heart remain soft. Let your obedience remain prompt. Let your trust remain deep. The future ahead of you is not something to fear. It is something prepared. I am proud of you. Not for perfection, but for perseverance. Not for having all the answers, but for staying open. That posture will carry you farther than talent ever could. This call from heaven does not end with silence. It continues through every step you take in faith. And when you look back one day, you will recognize this moment as the confirmation you needed before everything changed. Walk forward now with peace in your spirit and courage in your heart. I am with you. Always. Amen. My beloved child, as this call from heaven settles into your spirit, I am asking you to respond, not with words, but with seed. You've whispered, "Lord, let my life matter." And I am telling you, this is how your life reaches farther than you can see. When you give through Super Thanks, YouTube memberships, or the PayPal link in the video description, you join me in opening heavens over lives that are one message away from transformation. Your generosity becomes a harvest field, watered by faith, ignited by obedience, and multiplied by my hand. I declare over you now, as you sow, doors open. As you release, favor follows. As you give, I watch and I respond. This moment is marked. Heaven notices faith that moves. Rise, give with an overflowing heart, and take your place in what I am doing now. Act so generously, without delay. My beloved child, before you move on, I want you to use the hype feature on this video, not casually, but prophetically. When you hype this message, you are echoing heaven's call and helping this call from heaven pick up immediately reach souls who don't even know they are being called yet. Hype it as a sign that you answered, that you didn't let this divine ring go unanswered. And as you do, like this video as a seal, your quiet yes that this message touched your spirit and deserves to travel farther than this moment. Now hear me. When this video ends, don't leave without responding. Go to the comments and declare what you heard heaven calling you into. Write it boldly, "I answered the call," or "I picked up heaven's call today." Your words will become a testimony, and someone scrolling will recognize their own call through your declaration. Let the comments become an altar where voices rise and faith awakens. And now, my beloved, subscribe, not as a habit but as a covenant. If this message stirred you, if you felt my voice reach you personally, then subscribe and stay connected to this stream where heaven keeps calling. This channel is not entertainment, it is assignment. I will continue to speak, guide, and strengthen you here, so don't drift away when you are meant to remain. Subscribe now, stay under this covering, and walk with me as I speak again and again. Amen.